I welcome you all in our today's session. In the previous videos, we have discussed about the stochastic games. Also, we have discussed about the partially observable games. Now in this session, we are going to discuss about the state-of-the-art game programs. In 1965, the Russian mathematician Alexander Kronov called chess the Drosophila of artificial intelligence. But John McCarthy disagrees, whereas geneticists use fruit flies to make discoveries that apply to biology more broadly. AI has used chess to do the equivalent of breeding very fast fruit flies. Perhaps a better analogy is that chess is to AI as Grand Prix motor racing is to the car industry. State-of-the-art game programs are blindingly fast, highly optimized machines that incorporate the latest engineering advances. But they aren't much use for doing the shopping or driving off-road. Nonetheless, racing and game placing generate excitement and a steady stream of innovations that have been adopted by the wider community. We are going to discuss here some of the state-of-the-art game programs. So firstly, we will go for the chess. IBM's Deep Blue chess program, now retired, is well known for defeating world champion Garry Kasparov in a widely publicized exhibition match. Deep Blue ran on parallel computer with 30 IBM RS6000 processors doing alpha-beta search. The unique part was a configuration of 480 custom VLSI chess processors that performed move generation and move ordering for the last few levels of the tree and evaluated the leaf nodes. Deep Blue searched up to 30 billion positions per move, reaching depth 14 routine. The key to its success seems to have been its ability to generate singular extensions beyond the depth limit for sufficiently interesting lines of forcing or forced moves. In some cases, the search reached a depth of 40 lines. The evaluation function had over 8,000 features, many of them describing highly specific patterns of pieces. An opening book of about 4,000 positions was used, as well as a database of 7 lakh grandmaster games from which consensus recommendations could be extracted. The system also used a large endgame database of solved positions containing all positions with 5 pieces and many with 6 pieces. This database had the effect of substantially extending the effective search depth, allowing Deep Blue to play perfectly in some cases even when it was many moves away from checkmate. The success of Deep Blue reinforced the widely held belief that progress in computer game playing has come primarily from ever more powerful hardware, a view encouraged by IBM. But arithmetic improvements have allowed programs running on standard PCs to win World Computer Chess Championships. A variety of pruning heuristics are used to reduce the effective branching factor to less than 3 compared with the actual branching factor of about 35. The most important of these is the null move heuristic, which generates a good lower bound on the value of a position using a shallow search in which the opponent gets to move twice at the beginning. This lower bound often allows alpha beta pruning without the expense of a full depth search. Also important is fertility pruning, which helps decide in advance which move will cause a beta cutoff in the successor nodes. Hydra can be seen as the successor to Deep Blue. Hydra runs on a 64 processor cluster with 1 GB per processor and with custom hardware in the form of FPGA, that is field programmable gate array chips. Hydra reaches 200 million evaluations per second, about the same as Deep Blue. But Hydra reaches 18 plies deep rather than just 14 because of aggressive use of the null move heuristic and forward pruning. RYBKA, winner of the 2008 and 2009 World Computer Chess Championships, is considered the strongest current computer player. It uses the off-the-shelf 8-core 3.2 GHz Intel Xeon processor, but little is known about the designer of the program. Trepka's main advantage appears to be its evaluation function, which has been tuned by its main developer, international master Vasik Rajit, and at least 3 other grandmasters. The most recent matches suggest that the top computer chess programs have pulled ahead of the human contenders. The next game is the checkers. Jonathan Schaffer and colleagues developed Chinook, which runs on regular PCs and uses alpha-beta search. Chinook defeated the long-running human champion in an abbreviated match in 1990. And since 2007, Chinook has been able to play perfectly by using alpha-beta search combined with the database of 39 trillion endgame positions. The next game is the Othello. Othello, also called Reversing, is probably more popular as a computer game than as a board game. It has a smaller search space than chess, usually 5 to 15 legal moves. But evaluation expertise had to be developed from scratch. In 1997, the Logistello program, Bureau 2002, defeated the human world champion Takeshi Murakami by 6 games to none. It is generally acknowledged that humans are no match for computers at Othello. The next game is the backgammon. Most work on backgammon has gone into improving the evaluation function. Gary Tesoro in 1992 combined reinforcement learning with neural networks to develop a remarkably accurate evaluator that is used with a search to depth 2 or 3. After playing more than 1 million training games against itself, Tesoro's program TD Gammon is competitive with top human players. The program's opinions on the opening moves of the game have in some cases radically altered the received wisdom. The next game is Go. Go is the most popular board game in Asia because the board is 19 by 19 and moves are allowed into almost every empty square. The branching factor starts at 361, which is too daunting for regular alpha-beta search methods. In addition, it is difficult to write an evaluation function because control of territory is often very unpredictable until the end game. Therefore, the top programs such as Mogo avoid alpha-beta search and instead use Monte Carlo rollouts. The trick is to decide what moves to make in the course of the rollout. There is no aggressive pruning, all moves are possible. The UCT, that is upper confidence bounds on trees method works by making random moves in the first few iterations and over time guiding the sampling process to prefer moves that have led to wins in previous samples. Some tricks are added, including knowledge-based clues that suggest particular moves whenever a given pattern is detected and limited local search to decide tactical questions. Some programs also include special techniques from combinatorial game theory to analyze endgames. These techniques decompose a position into subpositions that can be analyzed separately and then combined. The optimal solutions obtained in this way have surprised many professional Go players who thought they had been playing optimally all along. Current Go program play at the master level on a reduced 9x9 board but are still at advanced amateur level on a full board. The next game is the Bridge. Bridge is a card game of imperfect information. A player's cards are hidden from the other players. Bridge is also a multiplayer game with 4 players instead of 2, although the players are paired into 2 teams. Optimal play in partially observable games like Bridge can include elements of information gathering, communication and careful weighing of probabilities. Many of these techniques are used in the Bridge Baron program, which won the 1997 Computer Bridge Championship. While it does not play optimally, Bridge Baron is one of the few successful game-playing systems to use complex hierarchical plans involving high-level ideas such as fencing and squeezing, and are familiar to Bridge players. The GIB program won the 2000 Computer Bridge Championship quite decisively using the Monte Carlo method. Since then, other winning programs have followed GIV's or GIV's lead. GIV's major invention is using explanation-based generalization to compute and catch general rules for optimal play in various standard classes of situations, rather than evaluating each situation individually. For example, in a situation where one player has the cards A, K, Q, J, 4, 3, 2 of one suit and another player have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. There are 7 by 6 is equal to 42 ways that the first player can lead from the suit and the second player can follow. But GIV's treats the situation as just two. The first player can lead either a high card or a low card. The exact cards played don't matter. With this optimization and a few others, GIV can solve a 52 card fully observable deal exactly in about a second. GIV's tactical accuracy makes up for its inability to reason about information. It finished 12th in a field of 35 in the par contest involving just play of the hand, not bidding, at the 1998 Human World Championship, far exceeding the expectations of many human experts. There are several reasons why he plays at expert level with Monte Carlo simulation, whereas Kurzweil program do not. First, GIV's evaluation of the fully observable version of the game is exact, searching the full game tree, while Kurzweil programs rely on inexact heuristics. But far more important is the fact that in bridge, most of the uncertainty in the partially observable information comes from the randomness well. Not from the adversarial play of the opponent. Monte Carlo situation or simulation handles randomness well, but does not always handle strategy well, especially when the strategy involves the value of information. The next game is the Scrabble. Most people think the hard part about Scrabble is coming up with good words. But given the official dictionary, it turns out to be rather easy to program a move generator to find the highest scoring move. That does not mean the game is solved, however. Merely taking the top scoring move each turn results in a good but not expert player. The problem is that Scrabble is both partially observable and stochastic. You don't know what letters the other player has or what letters you will draw next. So playing Scrabble well combines the difficulties of backgammon and bridge. Nevertheless, in 2006, the Quickly program defeated the former world champion David Boyce. Thank you.